Once, upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, where I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently tapping at my chamber door. 'Tis a visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, nothing more. Ah, I remember it was in bleak December, and as each dark and dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor, eagerly I had wished the morrow. Vainly I'd hoped to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for that rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I kept repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my door. That is it, nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating now no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and you came so gently tapping, so faintly you came rapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I was scarcely sure I heard you tapping at my chamber door. Here, I opened wide the door. Darkness there, nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortals ever dared dream before. And the silence was unbroken. The stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was that whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and the echo murmured back, "Lenore." Merely this, nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Then I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "that is something at my window lattice. Let me go and see what they're at us, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, and with many a flurry and flutter in stepped a stately raven from the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched himself above my door. Perched himself upon the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the stern and grave decorum of the countenance that it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, surely," said I, "thou art no craven, ancient grim and ghastly raven, wandering on the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on this night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marvel at this ungainly fowl to discourse with so plainly, though his answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. But we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon a sculptured bust just above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on that pallid bust spoke only that one word, as if in that one word his soul he did outpour. Not a feather then he fluttered, nothing further than he uttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. He will leave me on the morrow, as my dreams have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled by the silence broken, with reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs that one burden bore, till the dirges of his hopes that one melancholy burden bore of nevermore." But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, gaunt, and ghastly ominous bird of yore meant in croaking "Nevermore." This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed by an unseen censer swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, cried I, thy God hath lent thee, but these angels he has sent, they respite in nepenthe this memory of Lenore. O quaff this kind nepenthe, forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, bird or devil, whether tempter sent or tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home with horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, tell me, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aiden he shall clasp a saint and maiden whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked up starting. Get thee back into the tempest, back into this night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of this lie that thou hast spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him screaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted never more. The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe.